All right, good morning and welcome to Run Good Lifestyle, the Sportsbook edition. And we're going to run down today's games. I have picked the 5 games that I feel are the most pertinent games, at least for betting. There are 2 games that I am on that I am not going to go over. If you are interested in these picks, you can go to Run Good Lifestyle YouTube channel and you can put in the comments. First, subscribe. You must subscribe to the channel and put in the comments Browns win Super Bowl. And I'll give you the 3 picks that I have today. And these picks are coming from a picker that is now 21-10 in the NFL. So, very good percentage win. Unfortunately, he's not doing as well in the college. I got crushed yesterday, so we need to work on the college aspect of that. But the NFL, he's crushing. So if you want those picks, go to YouTube channel Run Good Lifestyle, subscribe, and put Browns win Super Bowl. Wishful thinking, I think, but maybe someday. All right, the game that's starting off this morning across the pond, the Colts and Atlanta. Indy's favored by 6.5. The over under is 48.5. Atlanta's struggled on the road, and boy, is this a road game. It's a little bit of a different road trip. And sometimes going to a place like this, teams rise up. You know, they have their families with them. They're maybe in a better spot mentally when they do these trips, but sometimes it go the other way also. So we'll see how that plays out. But Atlanta has definitely struggled on the road. They're also dealing with injuries on the offensive line and in the secondary. So I think Atlanta's near the bottom of rush defense. Yeah, they're 24th in rush defense. And the Colts, obviously, I think have, in my opinion, the NFL MVP running back, Jonathan Taylor. And I also believe that Indy has one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. So doesn't bode well for a struggling Atlanta team that doesn't play well on the road. Um, so we'll see how that goes. But Indy didn't play well last week, and they have something a little bit to prove, which also would scare me if I'm Atlanta. Uh, the Shane Steichen, I think I'm spelling that right, or not spelling it, saying that correctly. Steichen, I think he's favored for the coach of the year, and I just said I think they have the favorite of the player of the year in Jonathan Taylor. So we'll see how this goes. Again, I think on paper Colts just roll 6.5. So I'm riding with the Colts on this one. I'm leaning towards the over. I think Atlanta will score just enough to make this game go over. We'll see how that pans out. But um, again, these aren't my top plays. So if you want those top plays, go to Run Good Lifestyle and on my YouTube channel, subscribe and put Browns win Super Bowl in the comments. Next game, New England at Tampa. I'm here in Sarasota, so everybody's a Tampa homer. And Tampa's coming off a bye week, and the Patriots are riding a 6-game winning streak. During that 6-game winning streak, Drake May has been a beast. I think he's had 200 plus yards in the last 8 games with over 100. Well, the pacing rate, the passing rating is over 100 for him. Also, that that uh, streak of the passing yards and the 100 plus passing rating, I think it's the longest of, I think, the New England's history. So That says a lot with having a guy, future Hall of Famer, maybe the best player ever to play the position at quarterback. I might have to get some comments in there to see if I'm correct on that, but I think I read that somewhere. Um, on Tampa's side, Baker hasn't been playing that well prior to this break, and I don't know if it's because of the injuries. Mike Evans is out, Godwin's out, but this could be a bounce back game. And I think that playing at home in Tampa is an advantage. Baker plays well at home, and the turnover differential might play a big key in this game. Tampa's +7 in turnover ratio. Uh, can they turn over Drake May? I think he's on a hot streak, and you know, sometimes there's a game in there that just pops up, and this could be one of the games. I like Tampa here -2.5. I think Baker has a comeback or not comeback. That's sort of strong. I think he picks up his game a little bit. Maybe the Bucks pick up a couple turnovers. They're at home. I feel like Drake May is. I think he's doing. He's great. I love their coach. I love New England's just playing really well. But there is that one game that could trip them up, and this is a home game for Tampa, and I just think this may be the game. So I'm taking Tampa -2.5. Not sure I would touch the over under on this one. Could go either way, really. But um, yeah, that's my pick there on that one. The Browns at the Jets. Obviously, I'm a Browns fan, and so hard to watch, but their defense is special. Obviously, everybody knows Myles Garrett is one of the best to play the game, and having another just a career year. Unfortunately, we just have no playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. So anyway, depressing as it is, they're up against maybe a team that's more depressing. The New York Jets. I apologize to my good friend Sonny, but man, abysmal. But the good news is they traded away the Jets. I'm talking about traded away two of their best defensive players. Maybe they're two of their best players overall. Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams, defensive. I think the defensive tackle Williams, and then of course Sauce Gardner is a Pro Bowler, and I think they're both Pro Bowlers, but I just feel like they may be getting some draft picks. I'm not sure of the trade details. I just know that two of their best players are gone on defense. The good news for them is Browns do not have great playmakers. You know, our number one receiver can't catch the ball when it's thrown right to him on a consistent basis. He makes the difficult catches, and the ones that seem particularly easy, yeah, he drops. So um, on the flip side, or I'm sorry, on the upside of that offense, I guess maybe one bright side is Quinshawn Judkins. I think he could become it's a little too early to say to become a star, but he has definitely just done better than I thought he was going to do first year. And our offensive line, which I believe started out to be one of the strong points of the team, has been riddled with injuries, and they've been shuffling around the different positions. And I don't think they're not at full strength. And Judkins is still having, I think really a good year for such, I would say average, probably below average talent on that side of the ball. So, um, if the Jets can run the ball and stay out of third and long that will not allow Miles Garrett and the rest of the defensive line get to him and create turnovers because I think he in third and long, a third or any passing long distance, he just holds on the ball too long. He doesn't, I'm not sure if it's he doesn't read the defenses quick enough or he doesn't just proceed to his second and third looks quick enough, but he holds on to the ball too long. I really thought he was going to be a real game changer, maybe even a top five quarterback coming out of college, but and I stuck up for him for a long time when he was at Chicago, just because I didn't feel he had enough around him. Not saying he has a lot around him at the Jets, but to begin with, I thought he did. He went to the Steelers and had an opportunity, didn't make that happen. So I guess eventually you got to start looking at him as not the problem. He's so athletic and he gets outside the pocket. Unfortunately, he just holds on the ball too long and makes some uh, bad decisions. So I like the Browns. The Browns are -1.5 on the road. The over under, as you can imagine, is really super low, 37.5. I'd lean to the over on this one. When they set this 37.5, they're saying they can't make the line small enough. So I'm staying away from that. But I do like the Browns -1.5 just due to the fact the Jets are depleted on defense. Maybe we can make just enough plays to move the ball. And I see um, and turnovers. Maybe we can get some pick sixes or some turnovers to help that struggling offense with field position. And I think this is a field position, special teams kind of game. So I'm hoping. I have my fingers crossed. Browns -1.5. We'll see how it goes. Okay, the next game, Baltimore at Minnesota. Baltimore -4.5 with the over under 45.5. Vikings, Vikings a home dog. That's always interesting in the NFL. When you have a pretty decent team and they're a home dog, I always take a long look at that. The Vikings have been super inconsistent on the offensive side of the ball, but with JJ McCarthy, they have shown some some better play. They're definitely not, running past anybody on the offensive side of the ball. And the Baltimore defensive line's a little bit banged up. So maybe this gives McCarthy some time to throw and they do have really super talented receivers on the outside. Maybe that gives them time enough to work their magic downfield and they make enough plays to, offset the dynamic play of Lamar Jackson. Obviously, Baltimore's a much different team with Lamar Jackson in the lineup. How healthy is he? That's the question. Is he healthy enough to make quick decisions and make the defense pay of Minnesota? The Brian Flores loves the um, to blitz. I think they have the highest blitz percentage in the NFL. And in the past, Lamar Jackson has a field day against those types of defenses just because he's so dynamic with his legs, and I think he's really super underrated as a passer. So it really depends on how healthy Lamar really is. Can he get outside the pocket, get away from that blitz, that attacking blitz defense of Brian Flores, and can JJ McCarthy and his wide receivers buy enough time to get the ball downfield and make plays? I like I like Minnesota just because I think they're on the upswing. Obviously, so is Baltimore with Lamar Jackson back, but they're at home. They're getting points. I like the over 45.5 on this one. I just really believe Lamar has a day. The Vikings have an offensive day. It may be a shootout. And so I'm taking the over this and I'm taking the points with Minnesota. See how that pans out. The next game is Pittsburgh and the Chargers. I've it's well documented. I'm a Browns fan. I'm not a fan of Pittsburgh. I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see if uh, my favorite team, how my least favorite team plays today. The Chargers are banged up on the offensive line. Alton and Slater are out. And so the key, obviously, Herbert is a special talent. He can throw the ball. He can make all the throws. He does turn the ball over when pressured. So the key to this game, as far as I'm concerned, for I get both teams, but specifically the Chargers on offense, can they give Herbert enough time to get the ball to his playmakers? He has some playmakers, so it's all about you know pass protection for him. And uh, Rodgers just seems to be getting more comfortable with his wide receiving crew. Their ball control is. I mean, I just feel like I hate to give them compliments, but the ball control for Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers has really been the key. He can still get the ball downfield, don't get me wrong, but he has definitely changed his game to play more of a Baltimore or not Baltimore, Pittsburgh type style offense, ball control. They run the ball. He gets the ball out quick to his outlets, and then every once in a while he gets something downfield. But as much as I don't like Pittsburgh and I don't like Aaron Rodgers, I like the Pittsburgh Steelers today. I just feel like their defense gets to Herbert and causes havoc. I mean, I know this Pittsburgh defense isn't the uh, defense of the past where they just totally dominate, but they've been getting better. And with TJ Watt, they definitely have uh, the talent to get to him and just create pressure. So, unfortunately, I like the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game, minus 3.5. And the over under is 45 and a half. Let's stay away from that one. I don't really see how, if I was leaning one way or the other, I would take the under just because of the banged up offensive line for the Chargers. And unless there's some pick sixes and turnovers in this game. I think the ball control style Pittsburgh wants to play and keep Herbert off the field. I think this leans to the under, but we'll wait and see how that plays out. That's really all I have for today. I just want to get on here and give you guys a quick overview of didn't get to do my Thursday NFL breakdown. And next week, it's going to be a tough week. I have my member guest at the club and having my good friend Bobby Sparks coming down for that. And we'll be competing next week, Wednesday through Sunday. So we may or may not have our college picks with Sammy DeBoll on Wednesday. If we do, it's gonna be a tape recorded one. It won't be live. You won't be able to get in and chat. So just look for that. I'm not sure again if we're going to have it, but we will definitely be back the following week. We're winding the college football season down. I got crushed, like I said yesterday. Sammy DeBoll, I think, picked every game correct, and I may have been 0-5. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really looked at it. I quit watching. I was a little depressed yesterday. Today's another day. Let's all run good today and have a good Sunday. And if you would like something particular in the NFL or college for that matter, shoot me a text, or for those who have my number, or shoot me a message on the YouTube channel, Run Good Lifestyle. If you want those 3 picks for today, go to the Run Good Lifestyle YouTube channel, subscribe, and put into the comments Browns win Super Bowl. Until next week, thanks for joining us, and we will all run good today, I'm sure. All right. Have fun and enjoy your Sunday. Take care.